line is, can you have a bad game in a terrible spot and avoid a bad game in a big spot, and avoid, getting crushed for it? If you can, you're typically not a superstar. So now what I am curious, and this can be a separate discussion, if Broussard is calling him, he mentioned the tiers, same draft class as Jake. That by the end of the game, the Clippers were dead. High-pressure games, all high-leverage games. Meanwhile, the Jazz have been chilling for almost a week, so they had more in the tank, and they have the only true sold-out crowd, which helps them. So I don't think you can take a ton from this game prognosticating the series, other than Donovan is on the precipice of going from star to superstar with a few more performances similar to this one.
100%. That was the biggest takeaway. Spider Mitchell, phenomenal. But every time I'm watching these games, I'm looking for a storyline. And that first half, the storyline for me was explosiveness. Like, I'm always, as a player, looking at body language. I'm looking at how guys are moving. And those guys look fresh. I'm talking about the Clippers. They looked explosive. They dominated the first half, and going into the third quarter, they were the best team. It looked like the Utah Jazz wasn't even supposed to be on the same court in the same arena as them. That's how dominant the Clippers looked. And then all of a sudden, Spider Mitchell just turned it on, and he just worked the pick and roll he took it to a whole nother level. When I started playing basketball in 1996, my older brother and I, we had two plays. We had give and go, and we had the pick and roll. And we would be out there just working boys out there in the neighborhood. We called play one, play two. And they ran it over and over and over again. And they had no answer for him. So I got to believe that the Clippers will have an answer for him. But you guys are right, man. This dude is ascending to new levels. And Nick, you talked about it earlier in the show, like this whole thing about Shaquille O'Neal. Remember when Shaquille O'Neal called him out? And then it was like he was almost shocked. Like, really? Are you going to do this right now? So, Chris, I do believe that Donovan Mitchell still has that in the back of his mind, and he's out to prove a point.
Yeah, I agree with that, Brandon. And I think Wiles made another good point that Mitchell is a gamer. Mitchell loves this moment. Now, I think Wiles was very premature. I mean, I'm not putting him on the level with those guys we saw him on just yet. It's a little early for that. But and I also think defending Luka, it's interesting that you see this with the Clippers, right? One man gives them problems. It was Luka in the previous series, obviously.
That's right.
And now it could be Mitchell. We'll see if this continues. But he gives the Jazz a totally different look. Outside of him, they are very, they're not athletic.